Hello and welcome to a new session. Today we are going to have a discussion on the concept of aptitude. First of all, let us see the meaning and nature of aptitude. It is an observable fact that people differ from one another and within themselves in their performance in one or the other field of human activity, such as leadership, music, art, mechanical work, teaching, etc. Ramesh joins a commercial institute to learn typing and shorthand. He makes rapid progresses and in due course gets a diploma. Later on, when he is offered a stenotypist job, he carries it out satisfactorily. Suresh, another person, although in no way inferior to Ramesh in general intelligence, also takes admission in this institute, progresses very slowly and even after getting the diploma proves to be an inefficient typist and stenographer. Similarly, Radha profits from musical training while Sunita, having almost the same intelligence as Radha under similar circumstances, makes little or no progress. In many spheres of everyday life, we come across individuals who excel over others under similar conditions in acquiring certain knowledge or skills and prove more suitable and efficient than their peers in certain specific fields. Such persons are said to possess a certain specific ability or aptitude in addition to intellectual abilities or intelligence, which helps them to achieve success in some specific occupations or activities. Therefore, aptitude may be described as a special ability or specific capacity distinct from the general intellectual ability, which helps an individual to acquire the required degree of proficiency or achievement in a specific field. However, to obtain a clear understanding of the term aptitude, let us consider some of the definitions given by different scholars. According to Bingham, in the year 1937, aptitude refers to those qualities characterizing a person's way of behavior which serve to indicate how well he can learn to meet and solve a certain specified kind of problem. Traxler, in the year 1957, opines that aptitude is a condition, a quality or a set of qualities in an individual which is indicative of the probable extent to which he will be able to acquire under suitable training some knowledge, skill or composite of knowledge, understanding and skill, such as ability to contribute to art or music, mechanical ability, mathematical ability or ability to read and speak a foreign language. According to Freeman, in the year 1971, an aptitude is a combination of characteristics indicative of an individual's capacity to acquire, that is with training, some specific knowledge, skills or set of organized responses such as the ability to speak a language, to become a musician, to do mechanical work, etc. All these definitions reveal the predictive nature of aptitude. When we say that Ram or Radha has an aptitude for the teaching, we mean that they have the capacity or ability to acquire proficiency in teaching under appropriate conditions. Similarly, when we say Mohan has an aptitude for music, we mean that his present condition or ability reveals that if he were to learn music, he would be successful. The knowledge of an individual's aptitude thus helps us to predict his future success in a particular field of activity with appropriate training or experience. Like so many other personality traits or characteristics, it is difficult to say whether a particular aptitude is an absolute product of heredity or environment. Certain aspects of an aptitude may be inborn. For example, a person showing an aptitude for singing may have been born with a musical voice, and a person showing aptitude for typewriting or watch repairing may have sensitive and dexterous hands. But this is one side of the picture. It is also equally possible that the musical person's aptitude may be the result of his living in the company of a good musicians, or the typist's aptitude may be the creation of his father or mother who also happens to be typists. So, it is safer to conclude therefore, that the aptitude of an individual at a particular moment is in all probability depends upon both heredity and environment. Now, we shift our focus into the relation among aptitude, ability and achievement. Aptitude and present ability do not mean the same thing. A person may have no present ability to drive a car, but may have an aptitude for driving, which means that his chances of being a successful driver are good provided that he receives the proper training. Thus, while aptitude has a future reference and tries to predict the degree of attainment or success of an individual in an area or activity after adequate training, ability concerns itself only with the present condition, the potentiality or capability which one possesses at the present moment regardless of the past, and does not try to make any assessment of one's future success or failure. Contrary to the predictive nature of aptitude and the contemporary nature of ability, achievement is past oriented, reflects on the past and indicates what an individual has learned or acquired in a particular field. It does not follow, however, that we can forecast an individual's future accomplishment in any area of activity with the help of aptitude measurement. Aptitude tests in all their forms measure only the present ability or capacity of an individual on which a prediction of his future attainment may be based. Next, we will shift our focus into aptitude and intelligence. The existing intelligence tests gauge the general mental ability of an individual, while aptitude tests, as we have seen, are concerned with specific abilities. Therefore, with the knowledge of intelligence of an individual, we can predict his success in a number of situations involving mental function or activity. The knowledge of aptitudes, on the other hand, acquaints us with the specific abilities and capacities of an individual to succeed in a particular field of activity. Therefore, in predicting his achievement in some specific job, training, courses or specialized instruction, we need to know more about his aptitudes or specific abilities rather than his intelligence or general ability. Now, we will discuss aptitude and interest. In order to succeed in a given activity, a person must have both aptitude for the activity and interest in it. This does not mean that interest and aptitude are one and the same thing. A person may be interested in a particular activity, job or training, but may not have the aptitude for it. In such cases, the interest shown in a particular occupation or course of study is often not the result of personal aptitude, but of some other outside influence or reason, such as the wishes of parents, the probability of getting a particular appointment or job, stipend or other financial help, or the prestige associated with the work. Similarly, a person has long and dexterous fingers who makes a good showing on a mechanical aptitude test may have little or no interest in becoming a watchmaker. A guidance or selection program must therefore give due weightage to the measure of aptitude as well as of interest. Both are essential for the success of an individual in a given activity, job or course of instruction. Are you interested to know about the measurement of aptitude? The measurement of aptitude is done with the help of aptitude tests. Aptitude tests measure or assess the degree or level of one's special bent or flair. They are chiefly used to estimate the extent to which an individual would profit from a specific course or training, or to predict the quality of his or her achievement in a given situation. The aptitude tests can be divided into three broad categories. First one, general aptitude tests. Second one, special aptitude tests, and the third one, manual dexterity aptitude tests. At first, we will discuss general aptitude tests. In this category, 2 test batteries are considered outstanding. These are General Aptitude Test Battery, that is GATB, and Differential Aptitude Test, that is DAT. At first, General Aptitude Test Battery or GATB. The GATB, developed by the Employment Service Bureau of USA, it contains 12 tests. 8 of these are paper pencil tests for comparison, computation, vocabulary, arithmetic, reasoning, form matching, test matching, and 3-dimensional space. The other 4 require the use of simple equipments in the shape of movable pegs on the board, assembling and deassembling rivets and washers. From the scores obtained by the subject, the tester is able to draw inference about the aptitude factors, namely general reasoning ability, that is G, verbal aptitude, that is V, numerical aptitude, that is N, spatial aptitude, S, clerical perception, Q, motor coordination, that is K, finger dexterity, F, and manual dexterity, that is M. The GATB has proved to be one of the most successful multiple aptitude batteries, particularly for the purpose of job classification. The next is Differential Aptitude Test, that is DAT. The DAT, developed by the Psychological Corporation of USA, contains 8 tests designed to measure 8 abilities, which are verbal reasoning VR, numerical ability NA, abstract reasoning AR, space relations SR, mechanical reasoning MR, clerical speed and accuracy, that is CSA, language usage spelling, that is LUS, and the 8th one, language usage grammar, that is LUG. Of the 8, verbal reasoning, numerical ability, abstract reasoning and space relations are aptitude in the strict sense of the term. But other abilities such as mechanical reasoning and clerical speed and accuracy are factorially less pure because they are probably combinations of several factors, but can be treated as aptitude. The language usage spelling and language usage grammar are tests more of achievement than of aptitudes. However, the authors included them in the test because of this kind of achievement is indicative of success in a great number of academic and occupational activities. The DAT has proved very successful in predicting academic success and has been found especially useful for providing educational and vocational guidance to secondary school children. Of the 2 test batteries, the GATB is more work oriented and less school oriented in its total coverage than the DAT. Next is special aptitude tests. There are a number of standardized tests to measure the special abilities of individuals. Some of them are described here. Mechanical aptitude tests. What is a mechanical aptitude test? It covers a number of factors such as the perceptual speed, mechanical reasoning and mechanical information. Mechanical aptitude tests are of 2 kinds. They are performance test and paper and pencil tests. In the performance tests, the candidate has to manipulate and assemble mechanical objects. In the paper and pencil tests, knowledge about parts of machines, mechanical relationship etc. is tested. The second one is clerical aptitude tests. Minnesota clerical tests are used to measure accuracy and speed in clerical work. This has 2 parts. Part 1 contains 200 pairs of numbers, each containing 3 to 12 digits. If the numbers in a pair are identical, the subject places a check mark between them. The task is similar in the second subtest. Instead of numbers, here we have proper names. The tests are of 8 and 7 minutes duration respectively. This can be used for selecting clerks In the general clerical test, 9 dimensions are grouped so as to yield clerical, numerical and verbal subscores as well as total scores. It measures speed and accuracy also. The third one is aesthetic aptitude test. There are 2 well-known tests to measure aesthetic aptitude, the Mere Art Judgment Test and the McAdorit Art Test. Of these, only the Mere Art Judgment Test is in use on account of its practical significance. It consists of 100 pairs of pictures, that is painting and drawings of recognized merits. In each pair, one is the simple reproduction of the original work, whereas in the other, certain alterations are made with the intention of making it less pleasing to eyes. The examinee is required to select from each pair the one that is more pleasing, more artistic and more beautiful. In this way, the aesthetic sense or the sense of beauty of the individual is tested. Musical aptitude tests. The most important test in this field is the seashore measures of musical talent. This consists of 6 sub-tests covering pitch, loudness, rhythm, time, timbre and tonal memory. The stimuli are reproduced on phonograph records for group administration and conformity of presentation. Each item consists of paired tones or tonal sequences. The tests are applicable from 5th grade to adult level. The next category is manual dexterity aptitude tests. Manual dexterity as a special aptitude has been considered as different from mechanical aptitude. Mechanical aptitude consists of perceptual speed and mechanical reasoning, whereas the aptitude for manual dexterity includes manipulation, wrist and finger or arm and hand coordination and steadiness. Important tests in this category are described here. First one, Minnesota Manual Dexterity Test. This test requires the examinee to remove and replace 60 identical discs in a foam board which has 4 rows in identical holes with 15 holes in each row. The test is useful in predicting efficiency to semi-skilled occupations like packing, wrapping and inspection jobs in gross manual assembly and mechanic operation jobs in which skill in arm and hand movement is important. The next one is O-corner finger and tweezer dexterity tests. These tests measure the speed with which an individual can insert pin into small holes by hand or with the tweezers. In the O-corner finger dexterity test, 3 pins taken from a tray are to be placed into each hole of a metal plate. In the latter, the subject has to pick up 1 pin at a time and insert it into a hole using a tweezer. For this purpose, the other side of the same metal plate is sewed. These are used to test eye-hand coordination. It is very important to know about the utility of aptitude tests. Aptitude tests have wide areas of application. Firstly, they are the backbone of the guidance services. The results of these tests enable us to locate with a reasonable degree of certainty the fields of activity in which an individual would be most likely to be successful. Therefore, these tests are found to be very useful for guiding the youngsters in the selection of appropriate courses of instruction, fields of activity and vocations. These tests can also be used for educational and vocational selection. They help in the systematic selection of suitable candidates for the various educational and professional courses as well as for specialized jobs. As Munn in 1967 puts it, chief value of aptitude testing is, in fact, that it enables us to pick out from those who do not yet have the ability to perform certain skills and those who, with a reasonable amount of training, will be most likely to acquire the skills in question and acquire them to a desirable level of proficiency. Aptitude tests thus properly anticipate the future potentialities or capacities of an individual, irrespective of whether he possesses those future capacities before the training or not, and thereby help us in selecting individuals who are best fitting for a particular profession and courses of instruction, or those who are likely to benefit most from the pre-professional training or experiences. It is clear then that any purposeful guidance and counseling programs, entrance examination to specialized academic and professional courses, selection procedures for specialized jobs should give due importance to aptitude testing. Aptitude testing combined with the other information regarding interest inventory, personality tests, intelligence tests can help to a greater extent in avoiding considerable waste of human as well as material resources by placement of individuals in places and lines of work in which they are most likely to be productive. Let us summarize what we have discussed so far. Aptitude may be defined as a specific capacity or special ability distinct from the general intellectual ability of an individual, indicative of his probable success in a particular field after receiving appropriate opportunity for learning or training. Like so many other personality traits, aptitudes have been adjudged to be the product of both heredity and environment. Aptitude differs from ability and achievement in that it is forward looking in nature, that is, it gives an indication of the future success of an individual, whereas the ability limits itself to the present performance of an individual. Achievement, with its past oriented nature, merely indicates what an individual has learned or acquired. Aptitude should not be confused with interest. One may show interest in a particular act or job, but may or may not have the aptitude for it. The opposite is also true. However, to achieve the desired success in a given task, one must have both interest as well as aptitude. Measurement of aptitude is carried out by means of several relevant specific aptitude tests. For example, mechanical aptitude tests measure a person's aptitude for mechanical work. Clerical aptitude tests are employed for measuring the aptitude for clerical work. Musical aptitude tests like the seashore measure of musical talent attempt to discover musical talent. The aptitude for graphic artists tested through the tests like the Mayer Art Judgment Test. Similarly, we have various standardized aptitude tests for the measurement of scholastic and professional aptitudes of individuals for the relevant specific courses or professions like engineering, medicines, law, business management, teaching, etc. Aptitude tests have a wide range of application. They have proved to be the backbone of all kinds of guidance services and selection programs, as they are very useful for predicting the suitability of individuals for specific jobs and lines of work. Now, we can try to answer the questions given here. Define aptitude. Explain with examples the concept of aptitude. How does aptitude and intelligence relate to each other? Explain mechanical aptitude tests. Explain Minnesota manual dexterity tests. Enumerate the different definitions for aptitude. How far aptitude tests are useful? Hope that you may go through the reference books listed here for further reading. Aptitude and Aptitude Testing by W.V. Bingham, Harper and Brothers Publications, New York, in the year 1984. Theory and Practice of Psychological Testing by F.S. Freeman, Oxford and IBH Publications, Bombay, in the year 1971. The Guilford-Zimmerman Aptitude Survey by J.P. Guilford and W.S. Zimmerman, McGraw-Hill Publications, New York, India, 1956. Lifespan Development by J.S. Turner, D.B. Hems, Holt, Reinhardt and Winston Publications, Fort Worth in the year 1987. Thank you for watching this program. We can meet again with another topic. Have a nice day.